We have massive controversy as Jon Jones' private messages have allegedly leaked online. The Nevada State Athletic Commission brings the hammer down on Max Holloway and Paddy Pimblett, and an absolute upset rocks UFC Sacramento. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on daily MMA updates. We kick things off with a massive social media storm surrounding the heavyweight champion, as alleged private messages from Jon Jones have just surfaced online. Late last night, a series of direct message screenshots supposedly sent by Jon Jones to a female mixed martial artist began circulating rapidly across X and Reddit. While the exact context of the conversation remains heavily disputed, the leak has immediately sparked a massive debate among the fanbase regarding Jones' past controversies and off-cage behavior. Take this with a grain of salt, but wild rumors are circulating that the leak was entirely intentional to build hype for an upcoming podcast appearance by the female fighter in question. Jones' management team has not issued an official public statement confirming or denying the authenticity of the screenshots. However, this unwanted distraction comes at the absolute worst possible time, as Jones is deeply entrenched in his training camp preparing for his highly anticipated heavyweight title defense. The MMA community is heavily divided on the drama. Former UFC star Chael Sonnen brushed it off on his YouTube channel, stating, "Until Jon Jones actually speaks on it, these alleged leaks are just background noise designed for clickbait." Hardcore fans on X were much more critical, with one viral post reading, "Whether it's true or not, Jon Jones just cannot seem to stay out of his own way outside of the octagon." Do you think these leaked messages are completely fake, or is this another classic Jon Jones controversy? Let us know down below.
Paddy, what Paddy does so well!
And there's the submission! Paddy Pimblett wins the European featherweight title on Full Contact Contender. Celebrating with a very proud papa there in the crowd here in Bolton.
And why not? Because he didn't have it all his own way in the first.
Moving on to some major regulatory drama. The Nevada State Athletic Commission is officially targeting two of the UFC's absolute biggest superstars, reported by multiple MMA outlets today. The NSAC has officially launched a formal investigation into Max Holloway and Paddy Pimblett, and have temporarily placed their massive fight purses on hold. The extreme disciplinary action stems directly from both men scaling and jumping over the octagon fence while celebrating their respective recent victories, strictly violating the commission's safety protocols. This specific rule has rarely been enforced to this extreme financial degree, but the NSAC appears hellbent on making an example out of the massive pay-per-view stars. Pimblett's management team is absolutely furious behind the scenes. They released a scathing statement blasting the commission, arguing that punishing fighters financially for celebrating a career-defining win with the fans is completely ridiculous and out of touch with the modern sport. The global fanbase is entirely siding with the fighters on this controversy. UFC veteran Matt Brown chimed in on social media, heavily criticizing the move. "The commission just wants a piece of the pie. Nobody gets hurt climbing a damn cage." Fans on Reddit strongly echoed the exact same sentiment, with the top comment reading, "Imagine risking your life in a cage fight, and the state steals your paycheck because you sat on a fence. Absolute robbery. Is the Athletic Commission justified in holding their hard-earned purses, or is this rule completely outdated? Tell us what you think in the comments.
What is going on today? Danny Silva posts that it may have been his last dance in MMA as he all of a sudden had to get rushed to the hospital. He thought he had a rib out and pushed through it like every other fighter does, saying the same night that he went for a run at 8 p.m., did 3 miles, and on the 3rd mile his body shut down, and that he pushed because he wouldn't quit on himself and that 3 miles should be nothing. Then he got home and there was swelling on his neck and pec on the left side. Got recommended to go to the ER by a good doctor friend, trying to make sure that he wasn't having a heart attack. And after 9 hours in the ER, they discovered that he had multiple blood clots and that he was dealing with a massive thrombosis. And this is something that the doctors told him that only 50% of people survive from. Thankfully, Silva was discharged from the hospital and he's recovering on medication right now, but he is uncertain.
Next up, a truly terrifying situation has unfolded as a rising featherweight prospect was just rushed to the emergency room, fighting for his life in what could have been a tragic outcome. Officially confirmed by his management team, 29-year-old Danny Silva was abruptly pulled from his upcoming bout and hospitalized after suffering a severe, life-threatening pulmonary embolism. Silva initially pushed through intense chest pain during the final days of his fight camp, only to be diagnosed with massive blood clots after a grueling emergency room visit and multiple CT scans that Silva took to his official social media to reveal just how close he came to absolute disaster. He wrote, "I thought I just popped a rib during wrestling. I pushed through like every fighter does. They told me if I had stepped into the cage this weekend, my heart likely would have stopped." The MMA community instantly rallied, setting up a medical fund to cover his staggering out-of-pocket bills, which has already crossed its target in a matter of days. Fellow UFC fighters have poured in their emotional support. Welterweight contender Uro's medic publicly stated, "We leave it all in the gym, but health comes first. Get well soon, brother." Hardcore fans on Reddit expressed absolute shock at his resilience, with one writing, "Fighters are built way too tough for their own good. Thank God he actually listened to his body and went to the hospital before that clot did permanent damage." Will we see Danny Silva make a triumphant return to the octagon after this massive health scare? Sound off in the comments. Shifting gears to inside the octagon, the middleweight division was just flipped completely upside down following a massive upset at UFC Sacramento. Officially confirmed from the Golden One Center last night, Gregory "RoboCop" Rodriguez secured the biggest victory of his career by defeating the highly favored Anthony Hernandez via a dominant unanimous decision. Fighting in enemy territory, Rodriguez successfully fended off 26 of Hernandez's 29 takedown attempts and knocked the Californian down 4 times across 5 brutal rounds. The win marks Rodriguez's 4th straight victory, earning him an extra performance of the night bonus. But the real fireworks happened during his post-fight interview. Grabbing the microphone, Rodriguez immediately targeted the top of the food chain, screaming, "Dricus du Plessis, where are you, man? I want you. Let's go." That's a #1 contender match to fight for the belt. The MMA world is buzzing over RoboCop's massive leap up the rankings. Former middleweight champion Michael Bisping praised the performance, stating, "To stuff that many takedowns against a cardio machine like Hernandez shows Rodriguez is finally putting it all together." Fans on X loved the aggressive call-out, with one tweeting, "RoboCop versus Dricus would be an absolute striking car crash in the center of the cage. Book it immediately." Does Gregory Rodriguez deserve a massive step up in competition against someone like Dricus du Plessis? Drop our attention to the light heavyweight division, where a highly touted international superstar just made an earth-shattering UFC debut. Also going down at UFC Sacramento last night, former One Championship double champ Reinier de Ridder made quick and violent work of Roman Dolitz. De Ridder looked absolutely phenomenal at 205 pounds, overwhelming the dangerous veteran and securing a brutal first-round TKO victory to immediately put the entire light heavyweight top 10 on notice. Many analysts doubted how de Ridder's grappling-heavy style would translate to the UFC octagon, but the Dutch submission specialist proved he has evolved his striking game dramatically. After the fight, de Ridder kept his momentum rolling, openly stating at the press conference, "I didn't come here to build my name back up. I came here for the gold. Give me anybody in the top 5 tomorrow." The global fanbase is fully buying into the hype train. UFC commentator Joe Rogan discussed the debut on his podcast, saying, "When a guy comes over from another major organization and starches a tough veteran like Dolitz in round 1, you have to instantly respect him as a title threat." Fans on Reddit strongly agreed, with a top comment reading, "De Ridder is the dark horse of 205. His ground game is world-class, and now his hands are catching up." Who should Reinier de Ridder fight next in his quest for light heavyweight gold? Let us know in the comments. That wraps up today's biggest MMA stories. But before we go, let's take a look at the top comments from our last video regarding Kamaru Usman telling Khamzat Chimaev to move up to 205 pounds. User MMAJunkie99 said, "Usman is 100% right. Khamzat draining himself to make 185 is destroying his cardio in the championship rounds." And user Fight Fanatic added, "Chimaev at light heavyweight gets bullied by massive guys like Alex Pereira. He belongs at middleweight." If you want to be featured in our next video, make sure to drop